Welcome to Bandit's Keep Actual Play. I'm Daniel. This is my original Dungeons & Dragons solo campaign. I'm using Chainmail for the combat system, outdoor survival for the hex crawling as it would be, and currently the Fangs are in the middle of a battle. We had been fighting in the trooper abstract combat and we're about to go man-to-man. So using man-to-man combat, let me just switch here. That's the kind of combat that we use hit points and weapon versus armor. And here they will get that +2 because now is where we can use it. Alrighty. They'll get +2 instead of +1, basically. They won't get a +3 total. So, of course, this dwarf dropped. Let me just quickly reform my ranks here. This dwarf dropped. The halfling, who is my other fighter, would have moved up. So there's 3 of them in the front rank, which is basically holding back everybody else. And we're just going to go, now what we need to do is look at the weapons. Here's the only unfortunate thing is that because the berserkers have these short weapons, they're probably going to go first. They have hand axe, as I said. Hand axe is weapon class 2. Now, normally the first round of combat, I guess this is the first round of combat. Okay, the first round of combat, if a weapon is 2 or more classes longer, they'll go first. So let's see if anybody's weapon is 2 or more classes longer. A mace is only 1 class longer, so that's not going to be an automatic go first. A sword is 2 classes, so the sword, the halfling, will go first, and the battle axe is also 2 classes. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to roll initiative. Okay, 3, so the bad guys win. So the order of operation is going to be the battle axe, because it's the longest weapon, the sword, the berserkers, both of them, if they're still alive, and then the cleric. Now, keeping in mind that in this kind of combat, it's not simultaneous. So we got to track a couple things here. Both berserkers have 1d6 plus 1 hit points. Oh, God, okay. 7 and 6 hit points, so they're actually pretty strong. And every weapon does a d6 damage. So one of them can't die with 1 hit. All right, so here we go. Battle axe goes first. This is our fighter. Battle axe versus leather armor. They need an 8 on 2d6 to hit. They've got +1 because they're a fighter. Well, because they're 1 + 1 hit die. So I'm going to try to roll an 8 here. I roll a 10 + 1 is 11. That hits. I'm going to do 1d6 damage. And then I will decide which berserker it was, because I didn't decide. 1. All right, she has 1 point of damage against one of the berserkers. I'm going to do a against the one with 7 hit points. So they now have 6 hit points. Next goes the halfling. The halfling has a sword. Sword versus the leather is 8, same thing. So they got to roll 8 on 2d6. They get +1 because they fight as man +1. That's 5 + 1 is 6. They miss. Now both berserkers get to go, and they get +2 on their roll. So it doesn't matter who they're attacking at this moment because everybody has plate mail armor. So hand axe versus plate, they need an 11, but they get +2 to the roll. So first attack, 11, that hits. Let's see who that was against. That was against our halfling for 6 points of damage. They only have 7 hit points, so they're barely up. The second berserker needs an 11, and they roll a 5 + 2 is 7. They miss. Now the cleric gets to go. Cleric has a mace. Mace versus leather. They need an 8. Well, party all needs an 8. That's convenient. They do not get a bonus. And they roll 7, so they miss. Okay, end of round 1. Now, every round after that, again, it's always the cleric that's going to work off against them. Now, I am going to actually have, because we got multiple ranks of characters, I think I have somebody with a polearm. Oh, it was that dwarf. Okay, this elf is in the 2nd rank. Okay, and this one, okay. This elf in the 2nd rank is going to pick up during this first round the polearm, the halberd from the fallen dwarf, because they're right there, giving the party more attacks. However, again, the shorter weapons are going to go first, so we're going to roll initiative. Oh, simultaneous. Okay. So basically, the cleric and the berserkers are going to go at the same time, and then everybody else will go after. So let's see. I'll roll the cleric first. He needed an 8. He rolls a 12. 12 is great. 12 is max damage, and that'll kill one of the 2 of them. Max damage being 6. Okay, he kills the one that wasn't injured the first time. The one that had 7 originally. He's dead. So 1 berserker drops, but this part's simultaneous, so he's still going to get his attack. They need 11s. That's 9 plus 2 is 11. That hits somebody. That hits the cleric for 2 points. And now everybody else gets to go. Oh, that was just the first one. The second berserker, because again, he's not dead yet because it's simultaneous. They miss with the 6. Okay, now everybody else gets to go. I'm just going to go in order of weapon length shortest to longest. So the sword goes first. They need an 8. They miss. Actually, with the double 1, they drop their weapon. Actually, they break their sword. That sword's broken because it's not magical. Okay, this halfling's getting bad luck. The battle axe character, they roll a 9. Let's do something, which is 10. For 6 points damage, which is all the hit points that guy had. So he goes down. Whew. All right. Wow. Okay. They took out the 15 berserkers. Again, most of them are still asleep. A couple of the characters are injured. There is no like cure light wounds or anything at this point, so they're not going to get healed up, which is unfortunate. And also that dwarf dropped. You know, again, the party is lawful and neutral. You know, I don't play chaotic characters. I don't think that they would kill the berserkers. They basically have, yeah, they're neutral. You know, not that they would necessarily know that, but they don't see any signs on them that they're chaotic. There's no like chaotic language, you know, stuff written, you know, chaos for dummies or anything like that. So they're going to actually take them while they're into the sleep spell, and they're going to drag them back. They're going to wait. Well, first they're going to stand there for a second with them on guard, and 2 characters that can hear, because they're still there in the doorway, which, by the way, they're going to spike. Let me see if we can, a lot of stuff's happening all at once. Combat takes 1 full turn. I need to roll for, I already rolled to see if they'd be a wandering monster, and there was not. Okay, so that's the end of that turn. So the next turn, they're going to come back and they're going to check this door. They're going to listen first. They don't hear anything, so I'm going to roll to see if there's anything in there. There's not. So they push the door open. Hopefully, yes. Okay, and I'm going to say it's going to take them this turn and 1 more turn, because I have to rest too on the 6th turn. So between this turn and the 6th turn and then some rest, so I'm going to say 3 turns total. They're going to spend 3 turns total doing the following. Coming back here, securing all of the berserkers that are not dead very tightly with rope. They are going to also take their fallen comrade and put them in this room. They're going to come back out here and they are going to spike the hell out of this door. And what that's going to mean is that the berserkers, if somehow they get out of their rope, which is incredibly unlikely, they're going to have to roll a 1 on a d6 to be able to bust through the door. They don't leave, they unfortunately, because they're smart, they're not going to leave any weapons, because remember that halfling's sword broke, so we're going to do some switcheroos on weapons here. Oh, he had a sword, actually. Okay, so the halfling takes their sword. They also have a halberd, which that elf will hold on to. We're not leaving any weapons in the room with the berserkers. All the rest of the weapons we'll just leave here. All the hand axes and such. All right. So that's going to take 3 turns total. Let me roll some wandering monsters. It'll be 1 wandering monster check. Nothing. All right. Now, the way that we do treasure here is interesting. This isn't their lair. So you could say they have no treasure. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll a d6 like we would for a room that's occupied. And on 1, 2, and 3, there's going to be treasure in here. And I'll use what they call the unguarded treasure table. Rolled a 1. Okay. So there's treasure in here. So we're going to go to the unguarded treasure table. Because I kind of see these guys not as just a, quote, wandering monster, but rather somebody who was settling in here. Okay, so we're going to roll here. We're going to roll silver automatically. We're going to see there's a 50% chance there's gold, then we'll roll the percentiles for the rest. So let's see. Let's see if there's anything but silver first. So is there gold? 50% chance. 9s, that's 90 something, so nope. Is there gems jewelry? You roll each, so I just roll a 0 here, number 1. So no gems, no jewelry, and same thing with magic items. No. All right, so these guys weren't very rich. They have D6 times 100 silver, so have 200 silver pieces. Which, again, the party's hoping to find some larger loot, but 200 silver pieces is not nothing, you know? They have expenses with the rations and everything else to get down here, so at the very least, they'll pay for some of their food. Okay. All right, sadly, they lost one of their characters that would have been very useful in combat. We're going to readjust our marching order and prepare to descend. But here, we're going to drop down into this room. Obviously, we're going to look first. We can just literally look down there, see if there's anything in there. There's not. Okay. They move down to level 2 of the dungeon. We drop down into here. They know where they're going. They're going where the treasure was before. So I'm going to say that takes a full turn, which is turn 8, and there could be a wandering monster. Actually, I'm going to reset this. Doesn't matter the total number of turns. I guess it does. I'll make a mark up here because we want to know how long we've been in the dungeon. But I'm going to start here again. Can you see that? No. Okay. Okay. I'll just put it back on top of the characters again. I'm just going to start here again. So this is turn 8, but it's turn 2 for the matter of... And there's no wandering monster. So again, we're going to move 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. Oop. And that's the end of turn 2. Turn 3. We're going to move 12 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Go right to here. We're going to roll now to see if there's a wandering monster at the end of turn 4. There's not. No, there is actually. 1 or 2 means there's a wandering monster. So again, we'll figure out what it is and where it is. Now we're on this level. So now we're going to use my charts that I've already developed. Here's where we might have some trouble. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I see. Okay, I'm going to roll a d6 to see what's coming. 2. Ooh, it's a mummy. Okay. So it's a wandering mummy, so there's only going to be 1. And how far away is it? Well, we need to see if it's going to surprise them. So does it surprise the party? No. Do they surprise it? No. Okay, so it's going to be this far away. 4, 8. Okay, so it's going to be 80 away from them, wherever they end up stopping, which is going to be up here. So let's see, would 80 put them in a... It's going to be up here again, which is exactly where they encountered it last time. It's really funny. All right, so they're going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, they would stop here because if you remember right, these doors were there, and I think they heard a ghoul there, but I think they ended up running. They didn't actually go into the door. So they're going to actually listen at both of these doors and stop at the end of this turn. And of course, this is when the mummy's going to come and not surprise them. So number 1, again, we're still in that turn 4. I'm going to roll to see if they hear anything in either one of these 2 rooms. Okay, they do not hear anything in that room. That doesn't mean there's nothing there. They do hear something in this room. So if there's something in that room, let me just quickly check. There's not. Okay, so they don't hear anything in there. The other room, we're not sure if there's anything in or not. Actually, I'll roll now just so I don't forget. Nothing in that room either. Okay, so both those rooms are empty. There is that secret room, but we'll deal with that when, if they come in there and see it. All right, so they stop here and down the hallway. I'm going to use fire to represent that 3 turns have gone by. 4, actually. Fire will be the monster. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so it's right by the secret door. So let's use the Oracle. I can't remember if this happened last time or not. This is the Matt Jackson Oracle, kind of. I'm just using black and white dice. No, yes. Is the mummy coming through the secret door? Okay, double 6s. I couldn't roll that in combat against the mummy monsters. All right, here we go. Yes, it is. Okay. So the mummy is coming through the secret door, so that means the party's going to know that secret door is there, so I'm not going to have to roll for it, which is very nice. All right, So that's pretty good. The mummy's there. It's the beginning of the round. We're going to have to roll initiative here at this point because, again, the party wants to fight the mummy a certain way. So their plan is going to be to retreat back. So they're hoping to win initiative here. If the mummy, actually, I don't know the mummy's fast enough to actually close on them before I'll check it once we roll initiative. The mummy's going to close on them. Okay, the mummy wins initiative. So how fast is the mummy? I cannot remember. I remember them being faster than I thought they were. Okay, mummies. Mummy's movement is 6. Okay, and our movement is 6 in combat. All right, so the mummy's going to move first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's not close enough to make contact, and since we still have our move turn, if this was the end of the turn, the mummy could actually engage with us because it's close enough that it could actually pull us into combat. But we haven't moved yet, and we're not touching in melee, so we can actually move. It's exactly what we're going to do. The party's going to move and reform. So they're going to go around this corner, and while they're doing it, they're going to, they pull out their large torches and light them up against the small torches. So when the mummy comes around the corner again, they're going to be able to fight it. So they'll go diagonal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so the halfling is still alive, right? Yep. The halfling's actually going to throw a vial of oil onto the mummy. They're not going to have time to light it, but they're going to throw it at them. This is going to, the first time the mummy's hit, it will add an extra die of damage, because if assuming the halfling hits. Everybody else is going to use their torches. This cleric is moving to the front. So just so we know what's up, we're basically doing a line of 3 fighters in the front, all of them with torches, and then a line of then these 2 are going to be in the second rank. These guys are going to be in the back. And the halfling's also going to be in the second rank, like with their little stick in between trying to get. So we're going to get 6 characters on the mummy, but the first round the halfling won't be able to do it because they're throwing their oil. So here we go. No matter who wins initiative, the party's going to wait where they're at. So I'm not going to bother to roll. They stand there. And again, this was 4, so we're now in turn. Well, that happened in 4. We're still in turn 4. So the mummy's going to move 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It basically moves to here. And when it gets there, and now it's not close enough to pull them in. Not quite. So what we're going to do is the halfling's going to throw their oil. Now the way that I'm going to do this is, it's not hard to hit something. I'm kind of getting this rule slightly from Holmes Basic. So in Holmes Basic, when you throw oil, it effectively gives you a 50-50 chance to hit with it. And I think that's pretty reasonable if the thing's within range. So the halfling is going to have I'm going to roll a d6. And on 4, 5, or 6, it's going to hit the mummy. Now they have high enough dex. No, they don't have a dex bonus. But they are in short range because they're halflings, so they always get a +1 die. So they're going to get to roll 3 dice. If any of these are 4, 5s, or 6s, the oil is going to hit. It's only going to hit once, obviously, because there's only 1 flash of oil. Yes, okay. All right, I rolled 2 1s and a 6. Okay, so the mummy gets hit with a flask of oil, and the party is then, I guess the party is going to pull them into combat because they can do it. The party then steps forward with their torches. All right, it's about to go down. If you remember last time, the mummy really tore them apart. Now, there's been some rule modifications to my system since then. I'm going to walk through how this works exactly, and then we'll do the combat. So, number 1, the mummy, we'll deal with that first, because that's going to be consistently the same. The mummy fights as heavy foot. They don't have any weapons or anything. They're just striking with their powerful mummy hands. And they fight as 5 + 1 heavy foot. So they are going to attack as 5 + 1 heavy foot. And so that's going to be on the abstract combat, right? So we come here. Everybody in the front's in plate mail. Heavy foot versus armored. 1 die per 2 men, 6 hits. That gives them 2 dice. They can add 1 to one of them. And remember that because these guys are first level, any hit kills 1. The characters, on the other hand, are going to fight the mummy because they're using fire on what's called the fantasy combat. So when you use fire against a mummy, you are allowed to fight effectively as a hero. So basically a 4th level fighter, as far as your attack throw anyways, against the creature. So we're going to go to our fantasy combat chart here, and we're going to go hero. And now mummy fights as a white +2. So we're going to go hero, go all the ways over to white, where the hero needs a 6. So you could do this any number of ways, whatever way the math works better for you in your head. You could either say they're white +2, so they need an 8, which is how I'm going to do it. Or you could say they need a 6, but they have to subtract 2 from their roll. For me, it's easier just to say they need an 8. That's on a 2-dice roll. So when they move into combat here, if you remember, the party won initiative, so I'm going to let them actually go first. This is not going to be simultaneous. They're going to be able to go first. So we've got 5 party members are going to try to attack here. And the first one that hits will do an extra die of damage. 5 total dice of damage will kill the mummy. I'm actually going to count off the mummy over here because it'll be fun. So here we go. The first person in the front, the dwarf. 7 misses. Oh no, they're a man +1. No, they don't get to count that. Okay. 7 misses. Second dwarf. Misses. Damn it. Human cleric. Misses. Oh my god. 2 elves. Now, remember I mentioned they leveled up? They fight as 2 men. It doesn't actually make a difference right this second, but if they hit the mummy, they're going to do 2 dice of damage because they're 2 hit dice. Not because they fight as 2 men, because they're 2 hit dice. So it'll be important if these 2 guys hit. In fact, if they both hit, the mummy's gone. Here we go. Come on, elf. Missed. Oh, man. Second elf. I'll roll that die because it's over here. Missed. Oh, my God. Okay. All the player characters missed with their stuff except for the halfling, who's now like, what? And the mummy's going to get to go. It's rolling 2 dice. It can add 1 to one of them, and it's going to attack one of the 3 in the front, obviously. It adds 1 to this one, but that doesn't equal 6, so nobody gets hit that turn. Okay, so again, now that they're engaged, we're going to just treat everything as simultaneous. So we just get that first round because the party won the initiative. They got like a jump on it. So I'm going to roll the mummy first. That's the easiest way to do it. Does not kill anything this round. And then we have 6 total party members. Let's see if anybody can hit this thing. Dwarf. Miss. Dwarf number 2. Hit. And remember, it does 2 dice of damage because of that oil. Whoosh. The mummy goes up in flames. Halfling in the combat. Yes. Oh, 12 means double damage. So 2 more dice. Mummy only has 1 die left. Human cleric, come on. 8, yes, all right, boom. All right, so this time they step in and whoosh, and the mummy screams out in pain. But remember, oh no, I already rolled the mummy. I was gonna say it's simultaneous, it gets an attack, but the mummy goes down. Wow, they took out a mummy. That's nice. Whew. All right, combat takes 1 full turn. They stop to recover. They know their plan's working now. I'm gonna reset this, because now we're counting down their large torches. They each only have 2, so I'm going to count this thing down. We'll count that as 1 turn, so there's only 5 left. But I'm still going to keep this counting because this is our wandering monsters over here. So I have to keep both these things counting now. That's why I did it separately, if you're ever wondering why I did that. Okay, well, the party wants to move now. They got the torches lit. I suppose they could extinguish them. Can they do that? You know what? They can. The party's going to extinguish the torches. And so I'm going to put long torch. Yeah, is that a good idea, though? No, it's not a good idea. They have 2 of them. If they need to be conservative, they will be later. Actually, you know what they're going to do? Since they didn't hear anything in this room, they're going to go to where the mummy was. Because I think that they really feel like, let's just do it there. Let's be smart about this. They're going to move back up. And they're going to push this first door open. Again, there's 3 of them. This is now turn 6, by the way, and I have to roll wandering monster, and there's none. They can't open the door the first time, so I'm going to roll wandering monster. Nope. Okay, they push it open. They step into this room, and of course we know that the room doesn't have a monster next, we already rolled. But does it have treasure? On a 1, there's treasure. Unguarded treasure. No. I have 2 elves. Elves see a secret door on 2 elves or 3 elves? I have 3 elves. Elves see a secret door automatically on a 1 or a 2. So they see that secret door. No, they don't. All right. All right. Party moves. Again, the room's empty, so they search. We're going to count that as a turn. They go to the next door. They can't open that one either. Roll wandering monster. Nope. They open it that time. They step in again. We know there's no monster in here, but is there treasure? I'm going to roll d6. 1. Yes. Okay. There is treasure. And again, this is not going to be that treasure from above. This is going to be from this dungeon. So maybe this is, we consider that mummy's treasure. All right, so I'm going to come over here. Oh, these mummies have a lot of treasure. This is what I was hoping for. Okay. So the mummy's treasure is a d8 roll. 7. Oh, man. What? That would be useful to the mummy, but not necessarily to the characters right now. 2 potions. I know their fire resistance. The party doesn't know that yet. If they become desperate, the general plan with all of this is they're not going to just sample potions and stuff in the dungeon unless it becomes to a desperate situation. As much as having magic items is cool, it's really the kind of the lamest treasure because there's a lot of really valuable coinage, well, gems and jewelry really in here, and they need that to level up. The potion's not going to give them much. So that's kind of an unfortunate, but it's fortunate they took out 1 of the mummies, which is fantastic because there's only a total of 8 mummies in here. 8 left anyways. Let's cross off that treasure. All right, another turn has gone by. This is turn 8. Coming into turn 8, I should say. Let's roll to see if, hold on. They would have had to rest somewhere. So I'm going to make 2 wandering monster checks and add 1 more turn to this. Okay. Which basically means that they've only got 2 more burns on their torch. Okay. All right, they got to get up here to this mummy and try to get some real treasure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, we can get into the secret passage. They're at the corner, actually. Another turn goes by. I'm going to flip this back down so I can keep track of my turns. All right, they probably should have put that torch out. That probably wasn't a good idea. Live and learn. You know what? They'll do it now. They're going to do it now, and they're going to light regular torches because they're realizing that there's not a whole bunch of mummies all together here. We're going to have to light the torches each time. But that 1 torch only has 1 burn left in it. So basically 1 combat. And again, they're going to have to do that thing where they run back. So if they are surprised, it's a little bit of a bummer. But these 3 actually have real torches. So worst case scenario, they can use those. Actually, they probably should use those in the front rank. I'll do that next time so we can conserve our torches. But anyways, we got to push our way through this door. If we can. We can. And I'm going to take a second to reset the map here because I think that we're going to expand a lot more. If you've been enjoying these actual play videos, please do take a moment to like the video. Also, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, all that good stuff so you get notifications. I've been trying to put one out every week, and you'll be notified when they come out. Also, check the description below. Down there, you're going to find links to my Discord server. Jump over there, join the conversation, and also you'll find links to a lot of the things I use in this solo play. I get a lot of messages from people asking me about products and such that I'm using. I list as many as I can down there. If you don't see something down there, though, go ahead and ask. Also, you're going to find a link to my Patreon down there. If you want to sign up over there, you'll support the channels, and I do appreciate it. I'll talk to you soon.